Welcome, my name is Ricky, and today I'm going to be talking about Stadia from a budget gamer's perspective. What I like and dislike about the service, and try to answer whether or not it's worth it for budget gamers to give the service a try. So what do you need to play games on Stadia? Well, you need something that can play the game on Stadia, and a controller or a keyboard and mouse. Chances are, you probably already have those things, but you can also buy the Stadia Premier Edition, which comes with the Stadia controller and a Chromecast Ultra. Now, I got mine for free for being a YouTube Premium subscriber, but even if you can't get it for free, it's only $100, and I have seen it discounted. The controller is only $70 by itself, which is fairly comparable to other controllers. That being said, on PCs, pretty much any controller will work. Keyboard and mouse too. If you want a controller but don't have one, I highly recommend the Stadia controller. I was a little nervous at first because it has symmetrical sticks, but once I got used to that, I didn't want to use any other controller. I only wanted to use the Stadia controller for gaming, which is hard because it has no official Windows support. Sure, it works in Steam and there are workarounds for other launchers, but it's not ideal. Come on, Google, official Windows support. There's really nothing else you need for Stadia except a reasonable internet connection. This is probably the biggest factor for budget-conscious gamers. I don't really know how fast an internet connection you need to play games on Stadia, but Google says that the minimum is 10 megabits per second for 720p. I don't know how good that would be though. I also know that there are some areas in the States with crappy internet. Either it's really expensive for high-speed internet or you just can't get high-speed internet where you are. You just can't get those speeds. And that sucks. It really does. There's nothing I can say to make it better. You're just not going to be able to use Stadia. And I'm sorry. But let's say you have all the things you need. What is it like playing games on Stadia? Well, for the most part, playing games on Stadia is basically the same as playing games natively on my PC. When it's good, it's good. But when it is bad, it is bad. I'd put it at an 80-20 split of good to bad, though, from my experiences. But even when it's good, it's still video. Banding in dark areas like this bit from Little Nightmares, hope it's showing up, and the games can look soft. It's really hard to show this on video, but Hitman doesn't look quite as sharp as it does natively on my PC. But when it is bad, it is bad. The frame rate drops, unresponsive controls, all that. Basically everything you'd put up with on a low-end PC. The first time I actually had this happen, I was capturing footage for this video on the Paris level of Hitman Season 1. Climbing across the lighting rig, my connection to Stadia dropped, and I dragged along until the connection stabilized. And that's not the only game it's happened in. But the worst of it is QuickTime events. The Tomb Raider reboot is filled with them. Too many, if I'm being honest. But I have managed to fail just about every single one of them I have encountered on the first try. I don't have footage of it, but by the time the button flashes on screen, my brain registers it, I press the button, and then it gets sent to Stadia. I failed the QuickTime event. But none of this should scare you off. Most of the time it's like I'm playing natively on my gaming PC. It feels just as smooth and responsive, and my fans don't get crazy fast when I play. I don't want to sound like I don't like Stadia, or cloud gaming in general, because I am here for it. I am tired of having a giant PC next to my television. And I have one of the smallest micro ATX cases around. But a Chromecast plugged straight into my TV, and nothing bigger than that, I am ready for that future. If you don't have a budget to build a gaming PC that can run Cyberpunk 2077, or $500 to drop on a new console, if you can even get one, Stadia is a valid option. It has a decent library, even if it is lacking a back catalog, and $10 a month for Stadia Pro and a few new games a month isn't bad. The free games aren't always amazing, admittedly. I mean, the Power Rangers game was one of them, it's not anymore, but that game is bad. It's real bad. But for every Power Rangers, there's a Hitman or Into the Breach. My only real complaint with the Pro library is that if Stadia is going to compete with Luna and xCloud, they're gonna have to step up their game. If you want to get into video games and you don't have a lot of money to spend on a console or a gaming PC, you could do a lot worse than Stadia. I know. I have. It has flaws, sure. It's not perfect. I mean, the interface is garbage. Although I'm not going to get into that because we'd be here all week. But even with its flaws, I have enjoyed my time with Stadia. Maybe you will too. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.